Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason and welcome to the podcast for The Evil Beneath the Loch Ness. I am pressing play on the DVD now. Okay, this is one of my oldest DVDs. I will apologise in advance. I am sitting on my editing chair, which needs WD-40, not WKD, which I've probably said a few times. My second podcast today, I've just done a podcast for Tremors 5, but that will be released long after this podcast. These are part of my throwaway series, just creating extra content. I've had this for a long time, as Patrick Bergen's name waffles across the screen. This is a very early release on DVD for me personally. I've got 2 copies of it. You see it often in charity shops. It's very narrow, literally really narrow, and I've just actually watched the making of, and the making of is quite an interesting watch, even though it's got some fucking weird ass fucking editing going on, with like people like just flipping left to right in the middle of conversations, and someone's just had a lot of fun with the effects. So basically we just got water, and the names are sort of coming up on like a sphere, you know what I mean? Quite hard to read. I wouldn't have went that direction. The Evil Beneath the Loch Ness. Even the fucking title screen, man. I mean, what's going on there? Like, oh, like, see, the thing is, the director is an established visual effects director from background on the Terminator, the Ride game. He's worked on Blade. Even some of the DPs had worked on Independence Day. There's a lot of people fresh out of graduates. Again, the little documentary's quite good. Fucking editing's weird. Like, I've always had a little bit of love for this. I'm a massive fan of the Loch Ness. I love the myth. I've got a tattoo on the bottom of my arm, on my wrist. I love the myth, the mythology. But this film was all filmed in a fucking America backlots, which, looking back now, I'm going to have a look at it. There's not many Loch Ness monsters available. It hasn't really done right. Even Ted Danson trying to do a whirlwind romance back in the 90s, I was fucking hyped as fuck with that, and I think you're just waiting and you finally see it and you went, alright. I love just the myth of where it is and how they discover it. As we get it, what's going on here? Is this the backstory? As I say, I read a book once and it was like fucking James Bond meets the Loch Ness Monster, and how to find the Loch Ness Monster has some shark bait and it just comes up for a crack. But yeah, I just have a drink of pop. All the underwater stuff is on dry. They've done tricks and trags. And this is pretty much the backstory. They are in Scotland, they are researching the Loch. They're just researching it really. Now, I've never been up to the Loch Ness. The last couple of years I've been tempted to go. Last year got shot down, was just stuff going on, and this year I would have been going in about a couple of weeks. We're going to do Ellendonnell Castle. I was going to try and see Michael Galley up at Fort William, then back down, maybe stay at my mum's house. So we had a week off planned, but unfortunately it's gone to pot. But yeah, I definitely want to get up to Scotland and have a peek and boo. I've got 2 movies here, Terror Beneath the Loch Ness as well, and the Loch Ness Monster moves to Canada. We'll get to that podcast. But yeah, I like the score on this. It's quite sinister, but again, it's probably just stock. In the background, I am mastering Tremors 5 podcast, so as I say, I'm really trying to multitask today in between podcasts. If you really want to know, I've been out to paint a fence, cut a hedge, sweep some shit up, cook some food. It's fuck me, the screen, it's so dark, that underwater stuff. But yeah, this is all shot on like digital cameras, big ones is that. There's been a lot of stuff, you know, that from what it looks, it was made in 28 days. Oop, he's gone. He's down the flue. Yeah, 28 days. 28 days is what they said it was on the production there. So I'm just going to set my podcast away and I can pay right attention to what's going on. I'll say, I never see this brand new, but again, you see it a lot about just in charity shops and stuff. Anyone who likes the myth, it's definitely better than Ted Danson when it comes to myth. But there's the creature straight away. You can just see it passing through. I can't fucking see shit, like. And podcast away. Obviously, you use stock footage of Scotland. That's obviously LA. But yeah, there's just shot it on the back lots. There's a little bit on the documentary of how the first AD, or one of the ADs, or the PAs or whatever, it was his first job at a grad, and he's just happened to go back and forth. So it's like the EPK guys have been going around just interviewing people, and they look like everyone's just very approachable and that, which is really cool. I got bad Photoshop on that, but he was showing you how you had to go next door and sort of said to the other film production, go next door, can you turn that off because we're filming, so you know what I mean, time is money, and obviously trying to balance it. The lead actor, I'd seen him in something quite recently and it bugged me and I was like, where the fuck do I know him from? And it was this movie. I'm just going to check who he is. But she's well cast. She's, you know what I mean, she's ruthless, kind of the ruthless ex-wife who must want money, want stuff done, lack of remorse for losing a partner and stuff. So fucking credits on there, even though the Loch Ness was fucking terrible. Hope we're in Afghanistan. Probably just out in the desert of fucking towards Mexico. Quick pickup shot. This actor here, not now. Patrick Beggan is probably the biggest star in here. He's been in absolutely fucking loads of movies. Brian Wimmer is his name. I'm just trying to see what he's seen him in. Tank Girl, I haven't seen that recently. Could be The Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, could be. Taste of the King, Vengeance. No, it was Attack of the Saber-Tooth. Wow. Yep, it was that. Attack of the Saber-Tooth, Jurassic Park basically with it's Jurassic Park with a Saber-Tooth and some of the worst special effects you've ever seen. Check out my YouTube channel. I've done a review for that and I had to use some of the footage for it. It's one of the very few times I'll be like, but it's me watching it. It's not like I've ripped the DVD and added it in my review. It's me just sitting there in utter like shock horror. I've just remembered I've actually forgot to film the Tremors 5 review outside when I was outside doing all that shit. I'm trying to work out how I can die in the Tremors 5 review. The director is he doesn't do auditions, so you just like to meet the cast as well. So yeah, they definitely didn't go to Afghanistan versus that one fucking shot like. But yeah, I live about 5 hours drive to the Loch Ness. It's always been about 2 hours more than I've ever wanted to drive. But yeah, this stock footage there, because there's the famous castle. A couple of times I've been to Edinburgh and Glasgow. I've always been a sucker to pick up a Loch Ness souvenir. It's just weird how they haven't made like some of like movie maniacs when they went on that detail for like, I just think the Loch Ness is a great shelf or desk ornament depending on, what you perceive it to be, whether you become like look at this shot here. I remember this shot. I'll go back to that story a second. Look at this when he jumps out. Aeroplane, totally jumping out on a green screen. 2 actors green screened in of jumping out of a helicopter in Scotland. It's like, you cheap bastards. Again, I mean, I suppose it's cheaper than flying a whole production crew. I mean, they did make it on these cameras and they didn't have to get it all scanned off film, saved a fortune doing it that way, but my god, jumping out of a helicopter on green screen. But yeah, back to the ornament, the fact that you could have, the humps of the Nessie and just have it lying flat so it looks like it's coming at the surface of water. But yeah, unfortunately not. So this one's pretty much, if you haven't seen this movie and you just listen to this podcast, this looks like Godzilla from Godzilla 1988. It's got a very, it's almost like a dinosaur. It's got a long tail. It's got quite an abnormal head. It does change in between shots. And again, you're going to see, I mean, they've spent a bit of money on the effect, but you keep on seeing it and you see it in a reverse angle. But yeah, they've made the wrong creature for it. 58-year-old diving down at the bottom of the yacht. Aye, but the whole Ted Danson thing, what a piss. I like the myth, you know what I mean? There was a great episode of The X-Files, and Mulder thinks it's a fucking Loch Ness monster, and at the very end it just peeks its head out like, hiya, you're right. But yeah, the myth, I mean, there's a lot of myths in America. they've got their own Bigfoot, but Bigfoot wasn't enough. They've also got their own little Loch Ness monster. I think that's where I think I've got that from the Terror Beneath the Loch Ness. I couldn't believe it when I seen that. I was like, get in. Terror Beneath the Loch Ness, put it on. The Loch Ness monster moves to Scotland, moves to Canada in the first 5 minutes of the film. I was like, what the fuck? Had fun memories of Doctor Who. It's the only Doctor Who film that I ever use. Own Terror of the Zardons. Remember that as a kid. But you know what? It's cheap enough in sale. Picked it up. I was trying to watch it. Every 15 fucking minutes, the fucking outro, then the intro. I was like, bloody hell, man. Could you not have re-edited this? I mean, fuck me. Like, re-edit it, make it into one film, especially when it's slapped on the front. It's not like I was watching a series. And when the Loch Ness monster turns up at the end, it was just looked like a fucking potato with a fucking stick up its arse and some fucking weird goggle eyes. I was like, my childhood is ruined. This is not what I remember. So this is like, when it comes to Loch Ness monsters, this is probably the best. Like, again, just for like giving it time of day. I mean, even the TV show Loch Ness has come out. And I was like, get in, and I read the back of the box. I was like, oh, I just want to see some. A really good show as well, The Surface. That's quite good. I lent that to Mark Blaine, and then I didn't get it back, so I had to buy it again. I haven't watched it, still sealed. But that's a really good show. One off. Unfortunately, doesn't get finished. He's the little podcast researching crew, a website. As I say, there's a very famous pub out there, and a couple of times I just want to get up there. I mean, my friend Kidder and his family were up there a few weeks back. And before the lockdown, I definitely just want to get up there. He doesn't sound like a girl. I mean, that's a really bad front cover, actually. Let's have a look at the cover. They try to approach the stories. Patrick Bergen, Leslie Antonio, 60 feet of prehistoric terror, Little Evil Eye, The Evil Beneath the Loch Ness, 60 Feet of Terror, starring Patrick Bergen, Sleeping with the Enemy, Peter Games, Robin Hood. I think the lead actor, though, I mean, he's quite dried here. I mean, they've definitely got the pints down. Who are you? I don't think this movie's that long as well, so this could be quite a short podcast. An hour and 22 minutes. So my plan is, have podcast Tremors 5, get that mastered, get that sent across, have this ready, and get back to Welcome to the Land of the Long White Cloud. I've spoken to Carl and Paul Ray. Paul's gearing up for First Blood. I postponed that in a way because the DVD has 2 commentaries, one from the author and one from Sylvester Stallone. The Blu-ray doesn't. So check out the DVD. 2 very, very interesting points of view from the author. So I really want to try and absorb that. Paul, we want to do the Turtles as well. I was trying to talk Carl into doing the Predator, and he wasn't too sure. So I might have to do the Predator, because Jack does not want to do it. Jack did the first 3 podcasts with us, and he doesn't want to fucking do the 4th one, even over the phone. He was like, well, I want to do one. I haven't seen you for a while. And like, the thing is, Jack's just had a newborn baby in the last year, and I see Jack, and normally it's not planned, he just turns up. But trying to control 3 kids in the background, especially in lockdown, it's just like, right. So unless he's here in the editing room. So there we go. It shows the creature swimming off. Look, again, it looks like Zilla flinging off. It's a bit of a jump as well when it gets farther away, but yeah, Jack asked you, well, what you would do? I was like, what about Predator? He's like, fucking no way. Brilliant. Thanks, Jack. But yeah, a lot of the actors as well. I know the actor in the background. I want to call Vanilla because he talks about being Vanilla. He was happy to have a role where he could sort of create a character. Again, the documentary was quite surprising. I didn't like the effects. I didn't like the editing at all. But again, it was cool that they put the effort in to put that actually on the DVD. Do you know what I mean? Because like when you do independent and low budget movies, you can have a bit of fun, because I mean they talk about being in the union and stuff like that, and how you can and can't do, and who's doing what, and you're applying for your bar licenses. It's big business, you know what I mean? It's big business to crack into, but When you there's the same shot we've just fucking seen. But yeah, going back to like the whole getting in the film business and stuff like that, it's a tricky one. It's a dog eat dog world and all that, but I think if you be yourself and you have a passion for it, but again, do you get eaten if you're not a dog kind of thing? So here we go. Now we've got a total CGI flaw going there. I mean, giving this film credit, I want to say that says 2000. Get that fucking camera out your bag, mate. 2002 is the credit on the back of the box. So we're talking a millennium movie from it being made. Sort of, you know, coming on the backbones of films like Python and Crocodile being made, films like Spider. And check that out, man. What a great first egg that is. Going past and seeing that. But now Loch Ness has been on the cards for years. Even back in the days of film Better Than I Fear, when we toured around a lot. Scotland, that extra step to Scotland was always too far up. We got to stuff like Edinburgh and stuff like that, but it was always like, can you justify it? I was like, well, fucking Loch Ness. But then you look at trying to get, I think booking as well was always the problem. But yeah, definitely plans. I'm going to tell Brittany right now on a podcast. She's going to think, what the fuck? If anyone's released, yesterday I recorded Striking Distance, and it just got released today. So yeah. Hiya, I'm on a podcast. I've just decided that when lockdown is lifted and we have a free weekend, we're going to go to Ellendonell Castle, and then we're going to go to the Loch Ness and have a tour on the loch, because it's a must-do. It's one off the bucket list. So yeah, I'm doing a podcast about the Loch Ness Monster. It's a little bit low budget, but you know what? It's better than fucking Ted Danson. He's hitting the machine. Channeled a bit of Mulder there in his delivery. I mean, how do they even get that to the river? Over. He's got to say over. I know that. But yeah, as I said, I did a lot of green screen. Wet for dry filming styles. Some on the back lots, but none of it's in Scotland. I mean, taking on water in a script, I mean, it's, you know, you've got to think of how expensive that could be, filming tanks, filming that. There was a, on the documentary I seen, they were on about like how many people you can have on a reef on a barge. It's like the whole scene from Jaws when Hooper's told to get them out the boat. There's too many people on, it happens, you know what I mean? Oh, here we go. I think Beneath the Dark Ice or something like that was a book. That's a good creature feature I read. Oh. I mean, at the end of the day, it's pitch black. I think it's bubbles, but it's just, what do you do? I mean, to be honest with you, it's like that as well. It must be extra hard for an actor. Going to put lead in your boots. Anyone seen Last Resort with Corey Feldman? Fuck me, man. When they're doing their underwater scenes and stuff like that, it's fucking brilliantly hilarious. So there we go. Now, I don't think we actually get a scene where you see this, do you? It just explodes. There we go. Here it comes. There it is. Nessie floating along. Hey guys, those sensors you just placed, they're picking up something large. Oh, keeps coming back to that same scene on that screen. She's found an egg. Fuck me, that's a high definition screen for his portable fucking comms unit. So fucking dark, that screen, I can't even really see what's going on. But then it cuts to like colourful. There we go. Goes across the screen, left to right. They're like, oh my god, what's going on? I say, there's a different angle of them. Why couldn't we use that prior before that? Same shit again. Boosh. See, and there's the shot, the original shot we're seeing. That's the third time we've seen that shot. And then that whole thing's just exploded in nighttime, but it's still daytime. And then the body floats past underneath. I think this is a 15, isn't it? Yeah, it's a 15. I'm sure I didn't know if she dropped the F-bomb there. There you go, the CGI floor. Like, see, stuff like that, man. Like, just have a body float past. I can't see fucking shit. Sorry, this chair is fucked. I love it how he's now putting the hands-free kit on and talking naturally rather than talking the mic. What's he doing here? So I'm 25% through mastering my podcast. I've had to sit upright like a fucking meerkat. This fucking radar's going nuts. It's pitch black. So we've got a third angle on him now, but I don't understand why it's stuck with the original angle for so long. Did you not have the headset on then? Oh, we're back to that scene. I mean, don't get us wrong, I know I'm probably butchering this film a bit, but again, going back to that Ted Danson one, the whole like, it's a Loch Ness Monster movie. It's actually not, it's a love story. It's got the chick from Event Horizon in as well, and John Little from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I can't see you. I mean, CGI air in there. I mean, it just keeps. The thing is, it just keeps cutting back the same angle of him on one thing and the same angle on him. And there's the creature. And then we've got the CGI body here, isn't it? I mean, the kid's going, Daddy, and it's just appeared there. So I mean, what, the kid got fucking X-ray cat vision? See right through the board. I think that just flew past again. I can't see it. Where is she? Just having a nap. Get that hat on. Where did Triple H come from lifting her off there? greatest find of the century. We didn't fucking say anything. You guys were just looking at a fucking graph going up and down. Imagine pooping yourself in a scuba suit, man. Fucking speedboat flying past in the background. Oh, the flu. The whole flute story. The Loch Ness Monster. Oh, fuck off, man. I've pressed the wrong button on the telly. Brilliant. Sorry. We'll be back after this intermission. Fucking hell. There we go. Now it's night time. I've got a body there. Oh, I'm getting hungry, you know. Getting hungry. 26 minutes in. We've got under an hour left. What kind of machine is she playing on there? I love how they've just stuck posters on it. It's Patrick McGurn. I think he's made a lot of work in Hollywood because he obviously he carries that. That's the same fucking shot. He carries that very broad Scottish accent. He's been in a lot of TV shows and stuff like that. I mean, we get hired, you know what I mean? The Loch Ness Monster. Got a few many neon signs in the background for me. I mean, it's the pub. Big open sign like that, flashing. That's very American. You get all them pubs up in Scotland and stuff, and you start driving through the backwaters. Check out a show called Welcome to, I was searching for Wicker Man, where you go looking for elements of the Wicker Man and stuff. You'd go past the pub there and you go, "It's not fucking even open, it'll be open." And we went there. We were sitting there and there's food, and we were somewhere near Whithorn. And it was like some of those little towns of Whithorn. Fucking chair, man. I think this chair's going to break one time. Whithorn. And then, like, at first I thought he was the dad of the girl, but it turns out he was a lover. I was like, okay. There was a massive age gap. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I had about 4 kids, and all of the kids had multicoloured hair, and they're talking about 5 or 6, and this kid with pink hair just sat and stared at us, and he stared at us for fucking ages. I was like, well, this is a bit off-putting. You're trying to eat your food, and the kid just stared at us, like, and the woman kept ordering drinks. That's a real Scottish pub. Again, no, I mean, that's a great karma. He was rude to her, so she's rude to him. He's definitely channeling a bit of Mulder in him, like. Make a fucking copy of it first. You discovered the Loch Ness Monster and you want to give him a copy of the tape straight away. I mean, I thought you were professional websiters. Hi, camera. Whoa. Never give your tape away. Right, so this actor here as well, I've only ever seen him in Mr. Bean. I watch quite a lot of Mr. Bean because he's from down the road, Rowan Atkinson. Again, someone else who's probably, you know, living in America, that pick up them roles. So many productions, and if you're willing not to think you're going to be a huge star and you're just going to look for some constant, steady work, if you're like a really broad Scottish serious actor and for really good roles like character acting and that, you'll get steady work. Getting a good agency, you're done, you're sorted. A lot of people think you need to be glamorous and stuff like that to get into Hollywood. You don't. You need to be able to act, but then you don't. Because look at some people who like huge, like fuck me, literally. But again, it's just roles, casting people. There's the guy here. There's Jake. He says, "Oh, you always get cast as a vanilla actor." You know what I mean? On the kid's dip. Fuck me, you were down there, you should be the believer. Oh my god, it's the same fucking shot again. If it's swimming off into the distance. It's about the 5th time I've seen it. Fucking weird camera angles. I mean, how did he get that camera angle? It's from the side. He was on the boat. It was daylight. She has 7 messages. She's on her way. Fuck me, where did Jake appear from behind him? See, that's a good shot. I like that. Oh. Saying that, like, I mean, they've got the cars, right? Is that a completely different car? Give me a better look at that car. That's a different car. The different car is just indicated it's a different fucking colour. This beard's the longest I think I've ever had it. It's that long you can get it in your mouth and you're like, ugh, Corona. Oh, she just said shit. Yeah, it's definitely a different car. Did you just say Mason? Oh, it's coming. It's pretty. I mean, this is only a level 8 and it's still quite loud. I mean, I should be talking more. Copyright claims, copyright claims. But yeah, it's definitely a different car. I'm not falling for that. You know why I'm not falling for that? I don't know if you want to rewind that. When she sits in the passenger seat, right? That is no steering wheel. So in England, our steering wheel is where she's just sat. So yeah, it is a different car. Well spotted, Stephen. But that's not an IMDb. It's time to get IMDb. Whoa. Michael Galley has just agreed to be branching out on a podcast. There we go. Where do I need to be? IMDb. Excuse me. Oh, it's only got 3.2 on IMDb, yeah. Alright. Oh, incident at the Loch Ness. Alright, I remember seeing that online, but I've never physically seen it. Loch Ness horror as well. I might have to try and track this down, the incident at the Loch Ness, because it's got 6.5. Right, trivia. Be the first to add trivia for this. Okay. It's got no trivia. It's got goofs. Errors. There are numerous mismatches of footage and film cutting between cloud locations shot in Scotland and North America. Despite being set around the Loch Ness, much of the film was originally shot in America. When Casey stops to change the car tyre, it's not the same vehicle as the Renault Megane Cynic was supposedly driving. I just fucking mentioned that. Fuck me, fatal. Scots do not generally like referring to the lochs as lakes. It's somewhat. No glass bottom of the boats. Use Loch Ness since the water is far too murky. One of the long distance shots of the police cars showed clearly North American vehicles on the left hand drive, the wrong type of number plates. There's also models out. Fucking hell, butchered the film. There is no trivia though. The trivia could be like the sheriff is the fucking sheriff from Mr. Bean. I think she delivers it home there. Like, you just fucking don't want to like her. Obviously borrowing a bit from The Abyss. Yeah, Gally has confirmed for a podcast. I'll be keen. She's just swore. Naughty. Oh, this chair, man. Yeah, man. It was lush. Honestly, my chair was absolutely lush for about the first week. I mean, this is connected to the terror beneath the Loch Ness. I mean, while he's having an argument with her out on the road, let's have a look at one of these other films I've picked this like. A bone-crunching, gut-wrenching good time. The Loch Ness Terror, The Hunt. It's Hunt or Be Hunted. From the deep uncharted waters through the cavernous subterranean tunnels emerges the Lake Superior, also an unknown menacing species. The gruesome bloodshed to follow doesn't stop at Nessie. She has brought her vicious offspring to help terrorize the innocent townsfolk living in the lake. No man on land or water has a chance against a 40-foot blood-soaking reptile and her spawn. No man except the only one who has ever survived the Nessie's wrath. Driven by a deep-seated vengeance, James Murray, TV's Charmed, I think he's also in the X-Files as Mr. X, hunts down the terrible species. Terrible species? It says terrible, doesn't say terrifying, it says terrible species. With his skinful force, will Murray save the locals at the Lake Superior or end up with one of Nessie's countless casualties? Oh, hang on, no, it's not. I mean, I'm sorry, Ray, but it's not. It's not Stephen Williams from X-Files. That's them damn steam vampires. That's another one I was going to put on the list to watch. Fuck me, that is a movie that is just like a video reaction movie, but that's something again for Jack where you watch that and you're like, the fuck was that? And you just burst out laughing. So yeah. 47% my podcast render of Tremors. What's fucking wrong with this chair, like? It's what I like, honestly. If it wasn't uploading something in the background, I wouldn't be sitting on it. But again, it's just one of those days. The last couple of days, all I've done is sit and edit and watch Van Damme films while stuff saves. But again, last night I got what was that? Last night I got Striking Distance done, uploaded and stuff. Cracked on with some Van Damme editing. It's fucking every time I've ever done 2 podcasts in a day. Speed and Speed 2. Now here's a shot panning up. I mean, that's a pretty cool shot. You know what I mean? Like going underneath. I mean, I don't know how you would write a Loch Ness story in modern technology. I mean, the flue's a really good idea. You know what I mean? What would you do? Would you have it? It's not the loch, you know. It's a different lake. You know what I mean? Get them surrounded on a little island or something like that. I mean, how big do you have it? Do you have it huge, and or do you have someone protecting it, like Ian Holm is in Loch Ness? A lot of people do recognise me tattooed on my arm. Underneath the Shining quote, it's just I had a bit of space, and Jade did an amazing job. Jade, literally, it's just as the famous picture is. Hoaxy. A good found footage film, you ever heard of it, is the Frankenstein theory. I mean, take it away, it's the same kid who's in My Little Lie, but it's the idea that Frankenstein was real and basically lives up in the highlands of Canada and just has this winter circle around the Arctic Circle, and the guy works it out and actually encounters him, and it's one of those found footage films that's done quite well. Back on the boat. It's almost like she fucking gave up tying that down there. Like, I fucking give up. He's a lunatic. He's living in his little camper. Ow. Oh, he's just creeping around the corner. Look at that one. Like, what the fuck, man? It's fucking deadly serious, like. I bet he's been in fucking hundreds of films. Back to IMDb, let's have a look at him. Yeah. Gives you a bit of a flashback story there of him and his son and why he's got the actual death. So yeah, he's known for Sleeping with the Enemy, Patriot Games, Love Crimes, Robin Hood. He's in Wild Bill. I hate when it does that, I just want to flick along. That's not what I know him for. Yeah, he's in EastEnders. So he's found mild success on both sides. He's in Kill 'Em All, Wee Man. Oh my god, he's in Gallow Walkers. Oh, he's the baddie in Shark Week. That film. I mean, I don't normally turn movies off, but that film was one film I actually turned off. It was a fucking right stinker. He's worked a few times by the looks of it with one of my friends, Michael Madsen. That's sarcasm. Ooh. That weird effect there. Kiss and Promise. I've just got a feeling I know him from something from when I was younger. But I think it would have appeared by now. Track Lear, King of that. He's been fucking loads. Yeah. Oh, there he gone. He's in that Lost World now of 1998 Lost World. That's another film around the same time. Oh, Suspicious Minds. I actually got that on big box VHS. I've used it as a fucking shelf. Like stuff like, oh yeah, that's where I know him from. Lawnmower Man 2. Yep, that's where he's from, yeah. Fuck me, he's in that movie. He's in the Frankenstein. Shit. So there's a movie called Frankenstein. I know I'm not really talking about the Loch Ness, but I seen it as a kid and it fucking terrified us, and this is where I know him from. I didn't realise. I just had this fucking visions of this fucking Frankenstein. It's a stalkism of the movie. It's fucking terrifying. And I didn't know what it was called. I've ordered blind stuff at work before, hoping that it comes in. It's a Frankenstein movie. It's yet to be released over here. But it was shown on television as a two-parter back in like maybe... what year was it made? Yeah, mid-90s. So terrified us. And Killian H. Gore was the one who went, oh, is it this movie? I was like, fuck me, the Frankenstein creatures... Randy Quaid. I was like, no fucking way. And then obviously the guy who plays Frankenstein is him, Patrick Bergen. So yeah, I knew him fucking somewhere. I mean, it's another film I'll probably revisit and go, ugh. But that Frankenstein movie fucking terrified me as a kid. I actually had it in my hand on VHS in Welton not long ago. But yeah, it's just never seen the light of day. Chuck Komsky. The guy I'd worked on, so hang on, how many films is he? Well, he's only directed this movie, so he's a one-off director. Oh. Visual effects though, he's still working pretty good. As he said in the documentary, he just goes where the money is, really. Goes to where he gets paid. Well, but that's what you gotta do. You can either try and make it big and I'm an amazing director, or you could just be a hand for hire, and at the end of the day it's going to pay the bills. Until you want to try and have a family and settle down and that, and you can't make the fucking commitments, that's what happens. There's fucking loads of people have filled out the trivia and stuff, but no one's really put any goofs on. Also known as Loch Ness creatures. Beneath Loch Ness. I would just call it Beneath Loch Ness. Fucking add an evil to the title. I mean, it's just out for some fucking food to feed its babies. It's not exactly like, you know, fair enough, it's a mass murderer, but to it, it's wood as food. Captain Bligh. The mystery of the Loch Ness. Ooh. Suit up? No, I ain't going in there. Brittany hasn't replied to my podcast thing. She even listened to it. Oh, she's listening to it, yeah. Going on images of Loch Ness straight away, my arm. You get some really funny. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't know why they haven't built quite an iconic, like, landmark of it coming out of the water. They probably have, actually. All the days of technology now, though, you would think. I mean, even like on that thing that was going around on Google Images, and Google Earth, panning down, what's that in the loch? What, they're netting up the flute? I mean, okay, so it's 60 foot tall. Okay, 60 foot, right? How big is the fucking net? Where did they get that net that big from? And for two people in diving suits to... Oh yeah, they find the boat, don't they? I mean, he's just heard the backstory. I mean, grab that board plate there, please. Always find it cool in Jaws too when they go past the orca at the start of the movie. That's pretty cool. sun go down on me. As I say, I do apologize. I feel like I'm burnt out today. Second podcast. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Now it's CGI there. Like, oh my god, look. But there. So we've got what we known as the Loch Ness monster, the typical like big bloated body, the fins and the long neck to the head. That's not Nessie. So yeah, it shows you case of the creature. Imagine that. We found the Loch Ness monster. Come and have a look at him. Not getting exclusive or anything like that. Good little prosthetic that though. Loch Ness monster pop final. Because in theory, I mean someone probably else copyrighted us. In theory you should like that would be mint. Yeah, I've got a question. What was it like working with Rowan Atkinson? I'm only surprised if he was in Father Ted. He looks like he should be in Father Ted. I'm going to have a look at him. He's fucking adamant it's not Loch Ness monster. Fuck me. So the guy's name is Vermin Wales. Let's have a look. Oh, he's in Commando. He's in Mad Max 2. No fucking way. No way. No fucking way. In a space. If he is, isn't he? If this is. He fuck my life. It is. It's been in 204 films. Like fuck me, but it's him. It's the fucking Mohawk guy from Mad Max 2. That's just fucking blew my mind. Because that guy is also in Commando. Benedict. Fuck me. Jesus Christ, I mean, in less than 10 years he's doing this, from stuff like being the bad guy in Commando. He's been in fucking loads of films like. So yeah, it was Evil Loch Ness. TV shows, he was in Conan the TV series. They made a Conan TV series, what the fuck. The Bad Pack as well, that was a movie you used to see quite a lot on VHS around. Oh yeah, fuck me, Unplugged Rewired. Secretary Man on the front cover too. It's this iconic image of any cult horror films. Shit, it's blown my fucking mind, this. Fortress, that's what I'm thinking of. He's fucking Maddox in Fortress. Secretary Man 2, yep, he was in that. Yep. That, honest to God, has blown my fucking mind. And here's me talking about fucking Mr. Bean. Not in general. I'm sure he's in Mr. Bean. Watch him not be in Mr. Bean. He's not there. He's got to be credited. He's got to be. Come on, be Mr. Bean. He's not credited Mr. Bean. Right, mine is totally and utterly fucked over that guy's. He's the guy from Fortress and Mad Max 2. I mean, when I look at it now, yeah. Fucking hell. Mind blowing. So he's the discovery that, you know, it could be the Nessie. It's what's been spotted over the years, but it has a big fucking hole bit into it. this whole flu. Again, Lost Worlds, and I know Peter Jackson wanted to set King Kong, not to give it a direct remake, but again, it's like that time of like where the world was still small and open for discovery. Now everything's been Google mapped and stuff like that. And I mean, I've done it before when you sit and just hover over, like you pick a country and you just hover over it in Google and go, look at this, you know what I mean? And like the joy of discovery. I mean, stuff like Anaconda, it's got to be right set. So the idea of Anaconda, you know, going up them rivers, and especially how well they made that movie then. I know that CGI hasn't aged well, but just that idea of like discovery. I mean, the Loch Ness monster, what is it, 26 miles long, miles deep. I mean, yeah, you can think that like someone could hide in there, but you know, like islands and underwater. I mean, I think the only way you can make a good movie now, say for example, someone's going to steal my idea, but yeah, like finding a passageway underwater and the sea and that, and then, you know, for somehow it has heat from the Earth's core or whatever. But the idea is, I mean, a valley as well. It's the only kind of thing you can kind of do. So there's a pretty bad CGI click coming up a bit when the Loch Ness monster comes out and pancakes all these people. It's what's used on the menu screen. That's a similar shot that we've been seeing before, floating past. Jaws effect. Get out of the water! Get out of the water! It's coming here. They go over. Oh, comes up. And oh god, it just looks terrible. It almost looks like it's laughing. It almost like it's got quirky teeth and shit. I will never go in the water at night time. After I lived in Spain, and one night we're all on the beach, and it's not recommended you go on the beach in Spain in the night time, but we lived there long enough to know most of the irregulars around and stuff like that, and we got so smashed, and the waves were really high, and I just remember going in the water and all that, and it was funny for a bit, and I got a little bit of a shock at once because the current's so bad. And then just remember, like, Raoul laughing, like, really bad. But the thing is, Raoul was getting pulled out of sea, and he was laughing at the fact, I can't get in. And he was trying to backstroke and all that, and he's like, fuck me. And again, it's fucking... It's alcohol for you, innit? Fucking think you're invincible with alcohol. So, yeah. I'm going to message Paul Ray, the movie pop guy. Tell me about my discovery. Hello mate, how's it going? I'm on doing a podcast for Evil Beneath the Loch Ness. It's you probably recognise it. It's very early on DVD. It's all been shot in America. It's meant to be in the Loch Ness. So the chief constable, not a sheriff, who's patrolling the locks, I've been laughing about him, going, oh, it's him from Mr. Bean, he's highly recognisable. And it turns out he's the fucking bad guy from Mad Max 2, and he's also the bad guy from Fortress, and also the bad guy from Commando. And I was just like, what the fuck? So yeah, hope you're doing well, mate. Missing you on the podcast. See you soon. Bum bum bum. If I'd have put my phone on silent, because today my grandma is 90 years old. 90. That's some really cool comments on Facebook from a lot of people. It's been awesome. So we'll not have long of this. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's all going down in 22 minutes. It's quite a lot go down in 20 minutes from what I remember, because fucking Patrick has gone fucking crazy. He turns up as Braveheart in a minute. But again, you never see it out of water kind of thing. It's there you go. He's turned up as fucking Braveheart. Brilliant. Again, the mysteries. I don't think the Loch Ness, if you did a fucking series, you could do a found footage of this. You really could. So you could do a found footage of the Loch Ness on a little, like maybe it's an island. You're swimming out having a few beers and all that. What's that? And you know, it's kind of like, it has the long neck and all that, and it's, you know, getting really fucking creepy and stuff. Wee bit out of it. I love how he's got a bullseye on and he's like got a harpoon. He suddenly remembers that he once was Robin Hood and he have that. Do. This podcast is probably going to be finished before Tremors 5 is mastered. Brilliant. Flammable barrels. I mean, flammable and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, he got arrested, didn't he? So yeah, 20 minutes left, going in the final thing. They're building bridges back up. He's had his outburst, getting out of jail. Patrick's off to... Oh, comes the kiss. What's love got to do with it? He fucking delivers the conversation, like. Oh no, me mum. Me and Carl were doing a podcast the other day. Me mum. You ring me mum and she'll never answer. So on the third time she'll ring you. And she just kept ringing us and ringing us, and I messaged her saying, doing a podcast, me and Carl can't stop, because I can't. She kept ringing us. She just messaged her saying, I'll ask your stepdad if he can borrow the hedge cutter, or if he's got a hedge cutter. I'm like, I messaged her fucking about 4 hours ago. Yeah, 3 hours, maybe. %. 20% left. 20 minutes left in the movie. He's wearing face paint. Who the fuck's she? Oh yeah, she's the one who originally went down. I don't remember seeing her for a while. Well, I mean, again, I think they've all tried. I mean, this movie is like 18 years old now. That's just fucking terrifying, actually. Absolute terrifying. I mean, when was Loch Ness Terror made? Approximately 2009. So we're due one. So every 10 years. So where's our new Loch Ness Monster movie? He's very good now. Don't know what I'm singing for. Paul hasn't even read me message here. Do. Little shock there. Oh, look at that! Right, so the picture behind there, it's quite cool. Black and white imagery. It's a picture of the Loch Ness, but it's not the iconic picture. It's probably been copyrighted, but it's the one of what's Peyton, where it's sticking its head out. And it's really, really cool. Who's he? No, seriously, who's that guy? There's an extra guy just to be on the boat. Seriously? Right, so okay, the depth charges are going down as Nessie flims past again. Fucking Braveheart over here has appeared at the fence. I mean, at the end of the day, if he's able to sneak behind it by taking it out of the side, I mean, how big's that hole meant to be? It's fucking mint high definition screen she's got on the computer. Yeah, if you are watching this side by side, which are probably not, it's a picture there just out of focus. So yeah, bit of domestic. He's gone down. Gonna find Braveheart. How the fuck she got that picture? So the one who's using the systems and all that. A port. Oh yeah, he's trying to blow it up, isn't he? Oh, that's a new shot. I say it's a new shot, but if you probably rewind the movie, there was a shot like that very similar on, more panned to the corner, so maybe it's the same shot, or just the explosion panned out of it. Oh, there it goes past again. We've seen that shot before. Oh, an eye! Close up of its eye. It's coming down. It sees them. There you go, flying past. Look at the size of that one, it's fucking huge. Depth charge again. I mean, it must be when they're loading that up, they only had 8 barrels, so I'm just being sinister now, aren't I? Ah, this chair. Well, no, get it filmed. It's a fucking, I mean, fair go to her, man. It's a modern age. Stuff's like becoming available now. You know, we had mini DV around this time, which was becoming a big thing because, like, you know, like footage was like, I mean, high 8 had some horrible audio and all that, but like, especially like a lot of high 8 tapes, you could hear the tape rolling. But mini DV just had a very smoother sound. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like advancements at this time, especially for home video stuff. Not that good from a fucking helmet cam. That's fucking not for sure. You know what I mean? That's this top end camera just fucking putting it on with a little bit of green screen. I mean, this is all green screen here between the two. I thought it was 15 years. Oh, there's another barrel. Right, so if a depth charge boat is coming closer to them and they're just above them, can they not fire a flare off to get their attention? They've definitely run out of barrels. Come on, you give it a go. They're coming back. Whoa, there's a new shot. Yeah, so it does sort of have that Zilla thing, especially when Zilla's swimming through the water. There, that is the same shot from the start of the movie again. That one shot. They've got the money out of that shot, that's for sure. Surprisingly enough, I've still got some white coffee left. Not much right, but oh, it's fucking freezing. So yeah, not long left. Yeah, 10 minutes left of this podcast. 10% left of the rendering podcast. Boo-bee, boo-boo. What's gone up a bit? So I've been tagged in a post. There's a movie called The Mermaid Steelbook. It's fucking batshit fucking crazy. I've talked about it a few times. It's £999 and 99 pence. It's a penny short of £1,000 if anyone can't do math. I've just been tagged in that. I actually won that. Look, there it is. I don't know what it was with the teeth. It's got these big, like, white fangs. You go, like, laughing, like, no teeth. It's not the fact that, like, yeah, it should have teeth, but, like, to stand that much out in this dark bit of scene, it's just like, oh, okay. The bastard. So, my theory is working. An hour and a half film, hour and a half podcast, hour and a half to master. So I'm going to try and just, again, content. Sometimes when I'm at work and I'm doing my shifts and stuff, it's almost impossible to try and get a podcast out within a week. By the time you get it recorded, then you got to get it transferred and mastered and fucking digitalized and then upload it. And sometimes it's just hard to do between shifts. But again, there's been loads of podcasts the last couple of weeks. But again, I've done the Tremors series. I'm up to Tremors 5 and they haven't even been released yet, so open up a death chat. Oh yeah, the barrel that doesn't explode happens to be on top of the cave. Oh aye. Right above them. Flying down. And it's gonna go in and go boom. See, again as well, it's got like the dragon. You know, it looks like a dragon as well. A dragon without the wings because it's got the sharp fins on. Get rid of them. It's my that would have been my input to the design. Oh, bless her. It's gone 6:30. Brit's still not replied to us. I think it's because I'm doing a podcast, I think. So they've gone in the cave. Let's discover more eggs. Survive the explosion. I don't know what the fuck that last scene was there. I think it was them looking at fallen rocks. That's just a guess. He's just picked that fucking light up. Miss the eggs. Ah, he starts fucking hit them all. Lush chair sounds. So the podcast's going to finish beforehand. We have 5 minutes left. Nessie eggs. So, is it a Godzilla? I mean, or is it two Nessies? Nessie eggs. Nessie eggs. Good it. Nessie's eggs. He just starts fucking up and fucking stabbing them. And there you go. It opens its eyes up. Was it just behind them or something? It's just above them. Again, the teeth. It's fucking huge, isn't it? It's definitely some Godzilla elements. Does he just blow the fuck up, didn't he? Got the egg on the stick. Come to daddy. Oh, he's been eaten. Death charge has been fell on the eggs. A random fucking shot of him there. What the fuck's going on? Why? Boom. Big explosion. Definitely the end of the movie. Fade to white. Fuck. Surely there's got to be some. Oh, fade to music. Searching. Oh, he turns up in a taxi or something, doesn't he? Oh yeah, some music blasting. Power ballad too. So I just do some click clickies. Do a big search for him. He's come out the other end, hasn't he? That bike are coming along. I mean, come on. That is such an American bike. I mean, at the end of the day, right? Biggest fault there, him driving along. Helmet. He should be wearing a fucking helmet. It's the law. That is the law. And you wouldn't get a bike like that over here. So yeah. It's last minute return, gets a kiss, makes it up with his ex-wife. Yeah, I'm ready for food. Sorry, I've just been quiet there, taken in by the movie. Happy ending kind of thing. Loch Ness Monster's still alive though. It's in the ocean. Because if he ended up in the ocean, so did Nessie. Oh, and he's got an egg as well. Happy ending for all. Fade to black, and that's it. Cast. There you go. So yeah, it's been the evil beneath the Loch Ness. As I say, you still see it around. It's not like mega rare. You could probably, I mean, I'll have a quick look on eBay. It's probably on. It's one of the ones will be on Amazon Prime. So if you were to go on eBay for it, evil beneath. So evil beneath the Loch Ness. £1.80 free postage and packaging in the UK. £1.99 free postage and packaging. So yeah, Actually, if that was on I'm just having a look there at... If it was on VHS, I would have fucking bought it just for the crack. Evil Beneath the Loch Ness. The disc. Fuck me, there's I mean, honestly, God, just type that on eBay. There's fucking loads of it on eBay. So yeah, it's pretty mental. There's a Jeffrey there, Jeffrey Press, his production assistant. As I say, it is what it is. I just like the myth. I think the myth of what it is, and just the realisation and utilisation of reoccurring scenes. It's pretty bad now watching it back how many times they reused a lot of the scenes, but yeah, it is what it is. There's any fans of Loch Ness? Again, more Throwaway Podcast. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.